Oxford Poetry, 1919 ******** Oxford Poetry 1919 Uniform with this volume Oxford Poetry, 1914, out of print. Oxford Poetry, 1915 Oxford Poetry, 1916 Oxford Poetry, 1917 Oxford Poetry, 1918. Oxford Poetry 1919 edited by T.W.E., D.L.S., and S.S. Oxford B.H. Blackwell, Broad Street 1920. The following authors wish to make acknowledgement for permission kindly given to reprint. Mr. E. Dickinson, to the editor of Coterie, Mr. P. H. B. Leon, to the editor of The Spectator, The Song of Strength, Mr. W. Forsted, to the editor of the Poetry Review. Contents: H. M. Andrews, New College, Page Song 1 Th. W. Armstrong, Keble, Heritage 2 Watching 3 Loneliness 4 P. Bloomfield, Belial, Twilight 5 Vera M. Britton, Somerville, to AV.C.6 H.I. Burt, Belial, From Their Dust 7 F. W. Butler Thwing, New College, The Tramp Ship 8 Pilot and Clouds 9 E. P. Chase, Magdalen, 7 Mists 10 I Am Clothed with Furtive Light 10 W. R. Child, Magdalen, Les Hallucins 1 E. C. Clark, Keble, Flowers 12 L. M. Cooper, Lady Margaret Hall, Lines for a Flyleaf of Herodotus 13 Crusoe was a Vagabond 14 Eric Dickinson, Exeter, The Garden 16 B. Edwards, Lady Margaret Hall, The Man Who Has Forgotten Time 18 In a Canoe, Oxford, 19 Ralph W. W. Fox, Magdalen, Love Weeping Among the Crosses 20 On hearing that the names carved upon an old school table are to be removed 22 The Envious Poets 23 J. B. S. Haldane, New College, Complaint of the Blasphemous Bombers at Beat-Isa 24 C. R. S. Harris, Corpus, Sonnet 25 B. Higgins, B.N.C., Gallipoli, An Epitaph 26 Eventide 27 H.J. Hope, Christ Church, The Patrol 28 The Monk's Fancy 29 An Alpine Picture 30 G. H. Johnston, Merton, Oxford in May 31 C. H. B. Kitchen, Exeter, Somme Film, 191,632 Eschatological Sonnet 33 Epilogue 34 Ruler of Infinite Austerity 35 John Langdon Davies, St. John's, Quids, 36 P. H. B. Leon, Oriel, The Secret Playroom 37 The Song of Strength 39 The Deserted Garden 41 G. A. Mostyn, Belial, Les Miserables 42 A. S. Mott, Merton, Umbra 43 K. Mounsey, Home Student, To a Little House in Oxford 44 R. M. Espersley. University, The Diver 45 Vida S. Pinto, Christ Church, Station 46 Swans 47 H. S. Reed, Somerville, A Dream 48 E. Rendell, Home Student, Epitaph 49 D. L. Sayers, Somerville, For Felon 50 Sympathy 51 Vials Full of Odors 52 W. Forsted, Queens, The Voice in the Night 53 Ella G. Strong, Wardham, At Punnet's Town 55 Dallington 56 Ena Mina Mina Mo 57 Dear E. Wallace, Somerville, Impromptu in March 59 In New College Cloisters 60 The Beggar Maiden 61 J. L. Wing, Magdalen, Louis on 62. H. M. Andrews, New College, song. I met a sage at the break of day, and he welcomed me with a smile. He spoke his words of encouragement and we parted after a while. I met a fair lady when all was bright, and the sun was burning on high. She turned to me with her deep, dark eyes and sold herself for a lie. I met a child when the world was dark and I was drear and alone. The child spoke naught, but the dark became light, the day of glory had come. The barren ground shone with splendor high, bare branches dripped with gold, and the earth was transformed to heaven, just as the sage foretold. T. H. W. Armstrong, Keble. Heritage. Here in my glass is blood of kings, the life blood of a race that lies long dead. The jewels burning in your rings are an Egyptian woman's eyes. Your beads are dead bones, even my breath breathes hot words that were others' pain. Now these fair things are ours a while, till death brings us to quiet sleep again. Then we shall put our love aside for lovers of a later birth, and leave to them this body's fragrant pride, for jewels, in the heart of earth. Watching midnight at last. And you, I know, are sleeping there peaceful. Stars keep great guard upon you. Calm, and still, and white you are. One moment all your pale swift hair is quiet as the night. Here in this mud, this beastliness of war, the thought of your soft sleep soothes a tired mind as a rare ointment may comfort a wound, sweet-scented ointment brought from strange lands, far away. Loneliness. I watched the moon behind the trees float in a sea of sky. The aspen whispers in the breeze, the rest is silence now. And I can feel my loneliness around me fall. No human face there is. None speaks. Never a sound save whispering leaves in this still place. I have two friends, and they are dead. Perhaps about their graves are trees that whisper overhead, while in the grass the nettle waves. P. Bloomfield, Belial. Twilight. The day grows fainter, moonlit evening fills with calm and cool the lilac-scented land, and I feel, were I on the western hills, at last, now might I understand these mysteries of life, how things began, and why I love my darling as I do, and how came longing to the soul of man, and whether death must sever me from you. Ah, hush! A spirit moves abroad, whose veil the poets would give all the world to raise, but, failing, tell some wistful fairy tale, and laugh, and weep, and go their several ways. The birds are sleeping, nay, I do not know what's in the twilight, makes my heart beat so. Vera M. Britton, Somerville, to a V.C. Because your feet were stayed upon that road whereon the others swiftly came and passed, because the harvest you and they had sowed you only reaped at last. 'Tis not your valor's meed alone you bear who stand the object of a nation's pride, for on that humble cross you lived to where your friends were crucified. They shared with you the conquest over fear, sublime self-disregard, decision's power, but death, relentless, left you lonely here in recognition's hour. Their sign is yours to carry to the end, the lost reward of gallant hearts as true as yours they called their leader and their friend is worn for them by you. H. I. Burt, Belial. from their dust. Not in their immortality alone live those bright spirits who for honor spent their rich inheritance of years, and went gay-heartedly to meet the wide unknown. Not though the fields where their young limbs were strown once more be charted by the foeman's tent, and all the achieving of their tournament be scattered to the winds or overthrown. For from their memory and quickening dust shall spring the flashing squadrons of the dawn, and they shall set their spears and ride afar to seek and battle, thrust and counter-thrust, for grails from our beclouded eyes withdrawn, the champion warriors of a holier war. Erratum. For H.I. Burt read H.T. Burt, to whom also should be attributed Pilot and Clouds, page 9. F. W. Butler Thwing, New College, the tramp ship sailing over summer seas, seeking ports of rest, dancing with the dancing breeze, host and guest. Calmed beside the setting sun, lifeless on the deep, waiting till the halt be done and the sleep. Driving 'gainst the sullen storm, striking hard the foe, gallant heart and gallant form breast the snow. Homeward, homeward in the years, all thy pennons fly, bravely onward, smiles and tears, home to die. July, 1911. Pilot and Clouds, clouds, little clouds, tell me whither are you going to, spun by the sun of the shearing of the sea. Thither we are bound, where the west wind is blowing to, off on a holiday, merrymakers we. Clouds, merry clouds, will you wait till I may fly to you, share in the frolic of your gay company? Nay, for the west wind bids us say good-bye to you, save if your chariot be speedier than he. Swift are my steeds, at the thunderous career of them the high, lone silence is that cradle you will flee. Think you our hilarity will tremble at the fear of them, we who laugh in thunder and lighten in our glee? Then will I fly to you, dance with you, play with you, hover on your breast where the shadow cannot be. Hurry, brother, hurry, for we may not delay with you, off on a holiday, merrymakers we. E. P. Chase, Magdalen. 7 Mists. The beauty of the high is not in brilliance nor in a florid sculpturing of stone, nor radiant colors, brave design, smooth stones, but the wide curve and placid flow, and that St. Mary's spire and 7 twilight mists are hanging over Oxford towers tonight. I am clothed with furtive light, I am clothed with furtive light reflected from that pallid sun when it sets, hardly bright, behind Merton Tower, daylight done. When the moon, silver-hued, through Cowley-generated mist tears its way and glimmers nude above Magdalen Tower, it keeps tryst with that spirit of my soul which would glide through Oxford streets, still, unseen, without control, with wide eyes scanning whom it meets. W. R. Child, Magdalen, Les Hallucines. This is the singing of the sons of Halley, as they stand at their booth doors when brazen eve covers the city of Chrysopolis like the vast cup of an inverted flower, and into the pale blue cope of marble twilight steal up men's souls like incense strange and pure. This is the singing of the sons of Halley, to you, O seraphs, where you lean your breasts upon the perfumed clouds of sunsetting, and your huge wings, enormous, like a swan's, alone cover with silver plumes of fire your long sides, strange as pictures in Toledo, O seraphs, with your melting eyes like girls, and rosy breasts embosomed in the eve, vouchsafe to us a little rain of coins, of golden sequins tumbling through our sleep. Give us of heavenly gold, we have none earthly, and stab our souls with seeds of sword fire. This is the singing of the sons of Hali. E.C. Clarke, Keble, flowers shining, never thirsty flowers, that by the waterside do never plaintive cry for showers to damp their local pride. Lazy they wag their lovely heads, nodding that way and this, lithe bodies upon mossy beds with lips bedewed that kiss the kindly and generous stream that gently ripples by, an idle, silvery dream, where sleeping fishes lie. These delicate flowers of Mary lie long and overgrown, while Martha's parched and weary stand in the sun and groan. L. M. Cooper, Lady Margaret Hall, lines for a fly-leaf of Herodotus. No lover and no kinsman pass to honor the deep-buried dead. The roads are covered up with grass that burned beneath immortals' tread. No tramp of armed foe is heard, nor bowstrings twang, nor arrows hiss, nor sound to scare the nesting bird on rocky Salamis. Yet runs the royal road today, from Sardis up to Susa town, and still above the Ramian way the heights of Marathon look down, still from the blue Aegean wave the sea wind sweeps with keen salt breath the hills that saw the Spartan brave comb their long hair for death. Crusoe was a vagabond, wise men pray for hearth and home, a comely wife to tend them, and dread to feed the little folks that clamber on their knee, their fathers' fields to plough and sow, their old friends to befriend them. But Crusoe was a vagabond, and ran away to sea. He strayed upon the docks of Hull, and smelled the tar and cordage. He saw the bales of foreign ware piled high upon the quay. He heard the seamen singing, and the outbound ship bells ringing across the fog and darkness, and he ran away to sea. He might have dwelled by barn and dike our fathers made before us, and dipped his fat sheep yearly in the burn that turns the mill. He might have heard the harvest home go up in lusty chorus, when the last wain comes lumbering across the moonlit hill. But he heard the loud surf thundering against the harbor wall, the brown beeringed sailormen all swearing on the quay. The salt was in his nostrils, and he cared no more at all for barn or byre or cattle, but he ran away to sea. The boys he knew are grey, old men, and soon their sons shall lay them to rest beside the little church upon the spur of hill. The distant hum of chant and prayers, the feet of them that pray them, the sunlight and the blackbird's song shall be about them still. But he's a homeless wanderer from Rio Grande to Malabar, and God knows who shall stand by him, or what his end shall be. The wheeling gulls shall cry his dirge, the great waves drum his burial, when his poor old battered body slips into the greedy sea. Eric Dickinson, Exeter. The garden blessed with the green of rains, charged sweet with scent of May, the garden paths caressed her as she walked with slow footfall, slight was her frame, but took no pressure of decay, and age had found age beautiful as when youth gave youth all. Far over dreamy meadows bells toll the dying sun, and a quiet is on her spirit for the tender drooping balm of the evening filled with perfume the spring has swiftly won, and the rising moon that greets her in the garden of her calm. The ebony stick has brought her by the phlox and marigold, and a dream of one is with her who loved this place the best of all, who was straight and clean of stature as Bayard was of old, who when the drummers beat the fields obeyed the drummers' call. His letters breathed a brighter hope than any she had heard, nor any hint he gave to her that for his fairest youth death leapt and chattered daily, and daily was deterred from staying all the transient joys that chased across his mouth. The mother thrilled with sense of beauty infinite, for here it was the lithe, strong arms had pressed her to his breast, and his proud mouth had sealed on hers the proudest right that lovely tenderness may plan in gardens of the West. And so the moon grew white to silver all the lawns, while the garden wicket grows more white because a shadow near has come to steal the wakened joy of any further dawns. The hand upon the wicket trembles. The vision is not clear of the one woman in the garden who is so quiet and still. At last the shadow enters and knows a form has sudden fled, and now is lonely weeping upon a haunted hill, for with it entered a company of France's hidden dead. At the sound of feet she turns, while her heart has made such stir that makes her grip her stick more close and head grow more erect. She sees a priest's worn cassock, and priests are sore to her, for as a child she knew they moved where life's best ships were wrecked. "Madam, your son is dead," said he, with lowered glance, but he bade them say the lilies yet are strong within the gale. He died a hero's death for honor and for France. Then the mother faced and fixed his eyes, but the cheeks were drawn and pale. "I thank you for these words, for I see God spared him speech before he died, and there are mothers for whom no words atone for speech of those they love, and whom no tidings reach. I thank you. And now leave me, for I would be alone." And there she sits so quiet in the light of the young moon, while the flowers are dead, and the fruits are dead along with the young life that someone sped to the depth of the last dim lagoon. But only the priest in the fields of youth hears the requiem guns of strife. And he knows that strife goes on and on, forever on and on, while the harps of the world shall play no more, nor any more shall bring the maids and youths to laughter until that the end be won, and the eyes of men grow young again, and the heart of the world can sing. B. Edwards, Lady Margaret Hall. The man who has forgotten time, the ancient man who has forgotten time, walks seldom in the hurried city street. Where is the man who has forgotten time? For we so seldom meet, only sometimes on mornings after rain, when feathers from the passing wings of night linger in wide sky spaces after rain. I see the strangest sight. The houses by the river melt away, and there are paths between the silent trees, and all the city's uproar melts away into the hum of bees. And by the water walks an ancient man, who watches how the swift-tailed squirrels climb, and him I know to be the ancient man who has forgotten time. I often meet him pacing on the hills, or near flat marshy wastes where no one goes, but very seldom will he leave the hills or see cliffs that he knows. And so I meet him rarely in the town, but I can always tell his face again, and sometimes I have seen him in the town at daybreak after rain. In a canoe, Oxford. So many things you thought you knew are different seen from a canoe. On either bank the grass is far higher than other grasses are, and all the willows make a roof fretted with branches. not aloof like trees in gardens and in squares which never hit you unawares. Ralph W. W. Fox, Magdalen, love weeping among the crosses. Cupid has broken his bow, his arrows are shattered and lost. Oh, look at him now, his pinions trailing the dust. The beautiful boy is sad, the glory has left his glance, you would say he had never been glad, that his limbs did not know how to dance. Oh, look at him now, hugging his broken bow, forlornly he wanders about dreaming forgotten things. Nobody heeds him now, nobody hears if he sings. Once at his wanton play everyone railed and laughed, but nobody laughs today for love is so far away. Beautiful sorrowing child, hugging your broken bow, your eyes grow suddenly wild, anguish is twisting your face. So changed from the Cupids we know, the Cupid of dimples and grace. Cupid is down on his knees, down in the midst of the crosses, his glorious, childish head is bowed on his lovely arms. But the young of the world are dead and heedless of Cupid's charms. Oh, look at him now, the delicate shoulders shake. Hugging his broken bow Cupid is weeping now. Cupid is weeping as though his wonderful heart would break. On hearing that the names carved upon an old school table are to be removed, gaze long upon this length of lifeless deal, carved with rude cipher or with ill-cut name. Here youthful hands have wrought to set their seal of immortality. No idle fame for those too soon forgotten names they sought, only that others, seeing them, might say, these two were young and here have something brought of youth's high heart, ere going each his way. These names, that thus have sung the joyous song of youth's endeavor, now must fade and die 'neath the cold malice that doth e'er belong to small minds wielding blind authority. So youth by age is ever vanquished and beauty smirched and soiled when youth is dead. The envious poets you say we are happy, being poets, in our poor songs and tawdry tales. I tell you it is not true. There are those we envy above the gods, and they are the painters and carvers. With bright color and cunning line they have the power to conjure up before them great visions of all the loveliness they have known. A tree, the sea at night, a friend, the dear face of their beloved, all these they can make live before them in color, in marble. But what satisfaction do you think there is in a black printed word? I tell you we envy the painters and carvers. J.B.S. Haldane, New College, complained of the blasphemous bombers at Beatrice. It was not our hand or our father's hand, nor mortal malice and the hate of men, that drew us to this far disastrous land where the old primal night comes on again. Thy hand, O God of battles, and thy voice drew friend and foe into one net of hell, wherefore thine angels glory and rejoice, thine enemies shall perish. It is well. We who had hoped in vain that for a season we might hold back thy darkness from mankind, we who had trusted and obeyed our reason, we now are helpless and amazed and blind. Thou hast grudged the rich his little hours of pleasure, the little things of life that he held dear, the worker his fireside and evening leisure, thou hast thy will. One doom has drawn us here. Therefore from this unhallowed desolation, where these, the victims of thy monstrous lust, half buried in the mud of their damnation, crumble, how slowly, into loathsome dust. We curse thee, God, nor shall our sons and daughters fall at thy footstool as their fathers fell, but, tired of tears and loyalties and slaughters, lie down in peace and laugh at heaven and hell. C.R.S. Harris, Corpus, Sonnet cum te se omnis agia. Virgil. Oh, for the stillness of the midnight hours, when all the earth is silent, and the breeze rustles no more the branches of the trees, and makes no music in the leafy bowers, when nature sleeps, and all earth's myriad flowers folded in slumber take their dewy ease, and hushed is all the moaning of the seas, lulled by the magic of enchanting powers. For then the green earth sleeps, and for a while forgets her sorrow, and her heaving breast is sunk in a deep calm and liquid rest. And the still waters of the silver sea, bathed in the glory of the moon's cold smile, reflect the splendor of eternity. B. Higgins, B.N.C. Gallipoli, an epitaph. The moan of centuries breaks around these shores, whispers of sultry ages, and of woes low trumpeted against the arch of heaven. A land that bows beneath the crescent moon and shrinks within its glinting gaze, is this the mausoleum of our nation's dead? Yet, for their glory gathers on this strand. Mourn not the brave with tears. These pagan hills are touched with sanctity. The voice of God thrills through the barrenness of shriveled fields and lingers where these warriors lie entombed, 'neath the vast solitudes of Asian skies, where sleep they in a hush of eventide, the sea their dirge, the stars their monuments. Melbourne, 1917. Eventide a thrush throbs out his mournful melody, and shadowy fingers of approaching dusk clutch vaguely at the trees and shroud the purple hills, and softly sobbing noon winds float astir, bedewing tearful kisses on the buds that freeze in filmy fold. The waters, ice-chill, are gurgling from their depths, and nestling birds stand sunset splashed, with plumage all dismayed, to join the woeful chant, the dirge of waning day. Gippsland Hills, 1917. H. J. Hope, Christ Church. The patrol all night we prowled the stricken no man's land, and the high stars looked down dispassionate. I wondered if they could but understand that we poor groveling things were fighters yet. Fighters, O God. Begrimed, intent to kill, but starting at all the secret noises near. We'd sent our hearts to sleep, but mind and will fought the cold duel with children's night-born fear. The haunted silence quenched the stir of fight, the tainted wind no word of courage spoke. We turned at last, sudden the grass dew-white smelt as it does at home, my heart awoke. God sent one bird to sing, the old sun came and lit the eastern skies with orange flame. The monk's fancy, the old monk down by the sea beach listening, thought that the waves were singing a song, and the wheeling gulls in the sea spray glistening wheeled with the music that bore them along. Day after day by the sea beach dreaming, the old monk heard what the sea song told, and he set the tale in the great book gleaming with beautiful colors and letters of gold. But one word only he set to flame there, and naught of the tale but that golden word, and sadly said all the men that came there that none could know what the old monk heard. An alpine picture, the earth beneath this awful snow no feet have ever trod. These icy peaks could never know the smile of any god. And as I watch I know again cruel tales I dare not tell, of legions of forsaken men who freeze in Dante's hell. G. H. Johnston, Merton, Oxford. In May, when we have snapped the chain of tranquil youth, and run to revel in the loud world's fair, and straddled on the painted roundabouts, clapping our hands at clowns, and horns that blare, O heart of mine, when it grows late, and all the noisy tents flap dully on the grey shivers of evening, and the showman locks the clamorous booths, and sends the crowd away, when we have found how terrible is age, and how men piped for us to dance, and we danced, till we caught them laughing through the tune, and turned away, sick at their mockery, then in the silent room, with the lamp lit, we shall remember the still summer nights, the gold moon rising over Magdalen Bridge, and how the curving High was gemmed with lights. C. H. B. Kitchin, Exeter, Somme Film, 1916. For you at least, sweet wanderers in the dark, there is no cause to cry from cypress trees to a forgetful world, since you are seen of all twice nightly at the cinema, while the munition makers clap their hands. Eschatological sonnet. Before the final darkness, side by side we watched the huge red sun glow in the sky malevolently dim, longing to die, as though his dull and sullen face would chide slow-footed time that forced him to abide unnumbered ages in death agony, while at our feet the sea bore sluggishly the burden of a salt-encumbered tide. No word we spoke, but gazed with solemn eyes where the last sunset slowly passed away and left the sky a sheet of endless grey, seeing the world, God's careful sacrifice, the victim of an infinite decay, and thinking of the worm that never dies. Epilogue. We are the silk which other limbs have worn, those passive folds admired and kept with care, till fashion changes, and, no longer rare, the garment is dishonored, swept with scorn into the massive wardrobe of the night, where neither hands shall fondle preciously nor eyes shall gaze on us in charity, the wasted fabric of an old delight. The night is huge and rich with hidden song of its eternal victims grandly singing a threnody, whose fragrance ever clinging to night's embroidery still hands along the endless chain of unrepentant years, rejoicing in the gift of human tears. Ruler of infinite austerity, ruler of infinite austerity, from whom, long listening through ecstatic hours, men seek a spiritual mutilation and guidance to the unperturbed serene, yours was the voice at which our grasping hands refrained from clutching at iniquity still warm with flame that licks the roof of hell, but having will of us you are transfigured with an attractive aureole whose glare is colder than a mist around the moon, wherefore in wisdom meditate on this, that when outworn incessantly with kneeling on penitential stone, the flesh of man, delirious with fasting and sweet wounds self-loved and self-inflicted, cries for peace, it is for you the spirit sings with joy the chant ineffable of hidden spheres, for you it finds delight voluptuous in weakness through the curtains of the night, not for the abstract law which you devise. John Langdon Davies, St. John's, Quids. Beyond the last hill stands a row of poplars sighing, amid the dwellings where dreams go when they are dying. One side the stream, a pleasure ground where they caress, on the far side, with yew trees bound, the lazar house. And when the night has riven with stars the veil of day, I see their drunken half-shapes pass by the streamway. O dreams, O guests, who poisoned night with leprosy, amid the stream and the moonlight, oh, think on me. P.H.B. Leon, Oriel, The Secret Playroom, Grodens, 1918. Today has been a holiday, from our high room, with dumb desire, I have been watching through the wire the German boys and girls at play. As music, knitting tongues in one, to each in his own language sings, so echo in their laughter rings of happy voices I have known. O children I have loved so well, in Hampshire wood or Cornish moor, on many a littered schoolroom floor, in Surrey garden, Yorkshire dell, the friends of long sea holidays, or playmates of an afternoon, all you whose memories are strewn like flowers about my ordered ways, here in my lone heart I have made a playroom worthy of your love, with yellow walls, a frieze above, a tall lamp with a golden shade, and old prints hung on picture hooks, red window curtains, chairs straight-backed, an acting chest, a cupboard stacked with ragged treasures, storybooks jostling the grammars on the shelves, a chipped white service set for three, a broidered cozy for the tea, all is there, save you yourselves. But should your hearts recall me yet by any trick of word or thought, some book I read, some game I taught, then, in that instant of regret, your spirit flies across the sea on starry pinions through the night, into my chamber of delight your spirit flies to play with me. The song of strength we have washed our hands of the blood, we have turned at length from the straight blind alleys of death to the way of peace, gladly we labor, singing the song of our strength, the strength of man long fettered that finds release, the splendid body of man, O hand and eye working in trained accord. O flying feet! The play of muscle in leg and shoulder and thigh, strong to endure or to strive, sublime, complete, man, who has bound the waters, enslaved the wind, tamed the desolate places, set his span o'er the abyss, unconquered and unconfined, spending his strength in toil for the glory of man, the climber setting his foot on the perilous slope, the hunter driving the wild thing from its lair, the traveler steering his course by the star of his hope, never too faint to believe, too weak to dare, the fisherman facing the storm while landsmen sleep, the swimmer, poised for an instant against the sky, filling the eye with beauty, plunging deep, with wet white shoulders thrusting the billows by, the airman hovering, sweeping above the hill, the engine driving a furrow of flame through the night, the long ships breasting the waves, they are with us still, the strong clean things we have made for our heart's delight. Strength of the mind and will despising sloth, seeking the task unfinished, the goal unguessed, sowing the seed in faith, entrusting the growth to the strength of their children, after their hands have rest, strength of the maker, serving a distant age, the poet shaping his dream to a deathless rhyme, the doctor fighting disease, the chemist, the sage, grappling with nature, challenging space and time. So shall we sing as we labor, till faint hearts hear and turn from their sorrow to listen, to cry at length, lo, we have put away doubt, and cast off fear, come, let us fashion the world to the song of our strength. The deserted garden now these are gone, these beautiful playfellows, gone from the green lawns under my balcony, gone, and the house no more, the orchard echoes no more to their happy laughter. How oft I watched them playing, the innocent boyfriend and girlfriend under the cedar tree, till through the soft dusk rose the twinkling stars, and the lamps in the lane were shining. Fair head to dark head leaning and whispering, old games and new games, pirates and Indians, short skirts and bare knees madly racing, climbing aloft on the cedar branches. Day comes and night comes, summer and holiday, swift are the bright hours, merry adventurers. Tears now, a first shy kiss at parting, tears, and a hand at the corner waving. White through the dawn mist, careless of yesterday, life stretches onward, life the attainable white road along dim hills of dreamland. Childhood is dead, and the leaves drift over. Yet here in bleak house slumbers the memory, here in green lawn, orchard and cedar tree, fair head and dark head, laughter, evening, and voices across the starlight. Gia Mostyn, Belial, Les Miserables, lips burning lips in passionate caress, clasped, slightly swaying, pallid as the moon, two wretches, cleaving to each other, press their aching bodies into semi-swoon. All the night through, till the stars droop and fail, the girdle of their arms is not undone, and when the night is finished, flaccid, pale, two ghosts rise up, and gaze upon the sun, and turning from each other go their ways drunken with horror, reeling with sick shame, calling a curse on God for all their days of ravening, all their fierce nights of flame. And lo! Before the coming of the night they meet and greet again in shame's despite. September, 1919. A.S. Mart, Merton, Umbra. I love the shadows of things, pale, grey, patternings in the aqueous wonder of dawn, elm branches distort, outrageously wrought on a woven texture of lawn. Cloud shadows that go in stateliest pacing of nebulous gracing down valleys of tumbled loam, faint shapes in the snow intricately interlacing, of moonlight tracing, the shifting shadow of foam on foam. K. Mounsey, home student, to a little house in Oxford. Through the half-opened door the light streams out across the street, and lays a path of gold on stones worn grey by passing feet. I catch a glimpse of flowers in quaint old bowls standing in gloom, and many books on intimate low shelves go round the room. R.M.S. Pursley, University. The diver. I saw a figure standing in the mist dim and alone upon a column's height which fell in marble precipice of white down to the sea. Sudden the clean sun kissed his arms wide stretching to the fingertips, and showed his supple body glistening clear in the naked heaven, and the ring of a gay laugh broke eager from his lips. So would I stand upon the dizzy ledge when I have lived, shake back my tumbled hair, deliberately toe the empty edge, laugh out my last defiance to the air, then raise my arms, and, drinking one deep breath, I open plunge into the sea of death. Vida S. Pinto, Christ Church, station. Late at night in the station it is cold, the gas lamps shine, down pointing pyramids of yellow light in a long, solemn line. People are waiting on the platform, pacing to the end and back, or sitting huddled, drowsy, on the seats, all dressed in black. Their faces look pale and delicate like ivory, far off in the night, like the sinister eye of a wild beast, winks a green light. So still, a faint scream in the distance, then silence and the train crashes in, a golden horse, fiercely triumphant, tossing his fiery mane. Swans, you too have seen the great white swans, who glide upon the lonely waters of the world, curving their delicate necks with queenly pride above the shining mirror, wherein is whirled all the wild seething mob of human things, the riot of men and those strange gods and kings. They set up on great golden thrones and crown with garlands of bright stars, then drag them down into the mud with fierce tumultuous cries. Yes, all these wild reflections soon will pass, the drunken laughter and the vast distress, and the waters will be clear as polished glass, imaging only calm unruffled skies, and the swans will still sail on in their proud loveliness. H.S. Reed, Somerville. A dream I sailed among the orcades in the green encircling seas. So near the isles our nest did glide I picked a flower at the waterside, and just so quickly were we sped that I bruised the stalk and plucked the head. There was no foam upon the waves, they swelled to glassy hills and caves, but foam white were the thorns that grew among the meadow flowers blue. Laus tibi domin, that gavest such a dream to me. E. Rendell, home student, epitaph, for Julia, here lies a costermonger, tall was she, just the very size you'd wish a Christmas tree to be. All life long she stood a hawking small delights, merry scornings, gay good mornings, kind good nights. Bright balloons of mirth she'd cry you, apples of jest, laces, but you found them heartstrings, of the best, quips and kisses, April laughter, had you a mind there were posies, all she sold you paid for in kind. Scraps of fun and fluffs of fancy, trayfuls of toys for stock in trade, for customers grown-up girls and boys. Here lies a costermonger, dark the world to me as when they've put the candles out on a Christmas tree. D. L. Sayers, Somerville, for fell on with that eternity promised by our ever-living poet. Why do you come to the poet, to the heart of iron and fire, seeking soft aliment and the small things of desire, looking for light kisses from lips bowed to sing? Less than myself I give not, and am I a little thing? I walk in scarlet and sendal through the dry plains of hell, and fine gold and rubies are all I have to sell. For I am the royal goldsmith whose goods are all of gold, and you shall live forever like a little tale that is told, when kings pass and perish and the dust covers their name, and the high, impregnable cities are only wind and flame, the insolent new nations shall rise and read, and know what a little, little lord you were, because I loved you so. Sympathy I sat and talked with you in the shifting fire and gloom, making you answer due in delicate speech and smooth, nor did I fail to note the black curve of your head and the golden skin of your throat on the cushion's golden red. But all the while, behind, in the workshop of my mind, the weird weaver of doom was walking to and fro, drawing thread upon thread with resolute fingers slow of the things you did not say and thought I did not know, of the things you said today and had said long ago, to weave on a wondrous loom, in dim colors enough, a curious, stubborn stuff, the web that we call truth. vials full of odours the hawthorn brave upon the green sheath a drooping smell and sad, but God put scent into the bean to drive each lass unto her lad. And woe betide the weary hour, for my love is in Normandy, and oh, the scent of the bean flower is like a burning fire in me. Fair fall the lusty thorn, sheath no curses at my hand, but would the man were never born that sowed the bean along his land. W. Forstead, Queens, The Voice in the Night, Songs from a Lyrical Drama, The Burden of Babylon, Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, and the Chaldees' excellency, is become as Sodom and Gomorrah, whom God overthrew by the sea. Never again inhabited, Babylon, O Babylon. Even the wandering Arabian from thy weary waste is gone. Neither shall the shepherd tend his fold there, nor any green herb be grown, it cometh in the night time suddenly, and Babylon is overthrown. Woeful are thy desolate palaces, where doleful creatures cry, and wild beasts out of the islands in thy fallen chambers cry. Where now are the viol and the tabret? But owls hoot in moonlight, and over the ruins of Babylon the satyr leaps by night. Babylon is fallen, and never shall be known again, drunken with the blood of my beloved, and trampling on the sons of men. But God is awake and aware of thee, and sharply shines his sword, where over the earth spring suddenly the hidden hosts of the Lord, armies of right and of righteousness, huge hosts, unseen, unknown, and thy pomp, and thy revellings, and glory, where the wind goes, they are gone. Elegy strong, Wardham, at Punnet's town a swell within her billowed skirts, like a great ship with sails unfurled, the madwoman goes gallantly upon the ridges of her world. With eagle nose and wisps of grey she strides upon the westward hills, swings her umbrella joyously, and waves it to the waving mills, talking and chuckling as she goes, indifferent to sun or rain, with all that merry company the singing children of her brain. Dallington clouds all tumbled and white, frowning clouds and grey, Dallington high on the hilltop, Dallington hears what they say. Oh, I have come from the Channel. And I from the westward hill where Punnet's town blinks at the sunset between a mill and a mill. I have showered on field and fallow till I'm empty and dry, says one. I scowled at the people in cross in hands, and was driven away by the sun. Oh, I am primed for a fight, and if I can find one more to challenge my path in the heavens there'll be rumblings and flashes galore. Oh, I have a hat full of hail. And I have a share of sleet. So shall we go cruising to battle and rattle it down on their street. Clouds all tumbled and white, frowning clouds and grey, Dallington high on the hilltop, Dallington hears what they say. Eena meena mina mo, catch a nigger by his toe, if he ollies, let en go. OUT spells out and out you must go. Of it oh. Children playing on the green, Joe Treguddick, deathly ill, hears them very clearly still. Silently, with blinking eyes, two great suns have dragged his bed to the window, till he dies. Now his mind is in his fields where all things lose their certain shape. The cows in munching quiet lie, and on the orange of the sky the trees stand out like scissored crape. With deep cool breaths he drinks the night, then, in a sudden sweat of pain, he twists upon his bed again. The children's voices die away, and seldom now the footsteps pass. A hobnail tread upon the road falls sudden silent on the grass. Still with throb and throb of pain he hears the children at their play chanting insistent in his brain. Coughs, and with a whistling breath, though he knows how the count will fall, turns to play a game with death, turns to the last game of all. Enum enum enum, catch a nigger by his toe. If he ollies, let en go. Out spells out and out you must go. Of it, Joe. Dear E. Wallace, Somerville, impromptu in March I will cut you wands of willow, I will fetch you catkins yellow for a sign of March. I've a snowy silken pillow for my head, you foolish fellow, I've no love for March. Get me buckles, bring me laces, amber beads and chrysoprases, fans and castanets. Lady, in the sunny places I can find you early daisies and sweet violets. In new college cloisters time sleeps, hush ye, go light, time sleeps by day and by night. Be your tread softer than feet of the dead, lest he wake and his heart break. Stern bells, muffle your chime, he dreams, suffer the dreams of time. To the patter of ilex leaves, to the sound of birds in the eaves, to the sibilant wings of a dove time dreams, of his love. The beggar maiden there has come to me a lover, O ye winds and waters, with a house for my abiding full of looking glass and silk, and a palfrey for my riding white as milk, and the tresses of kings' daughters spun with pearls, my head to cover. There has come to me a lover, O ye winds and waters. And I kissed him for his kindness to a beggar maiden. I, with strong white feet foregoing at my fancy everywhere, with the wind of heaven blowing through my hair, with my dwelling star beladen, verily I mocked his blindness. But I kissed him for his kindness to a beggar maiden. J. L. Wing, Magdalen, Louis Ons. Who is this I see? A king. Leaden saints all in a ring round his hat. His gait is slow, and his back is bending low. This a king. His quivering frame shakes. Pray tell me now his name. Louis Ons, it is you say, greatest king of all his day. Billing and Sons, Limited, Printers, Guildford, England. Transcribers' notes: obvious typographical errors have been silently corrected, other variations in spelling, accents and punctuation are as in the original. Several poems do not have titles, but are referenced by first line. These have been left as printed. The erratum on page 7 has not been corrected to avoid changing the structure of the book. In the original, the poems each started with a dropped capital initial letter. This has been replaced with a raised capital for consistency of rendering. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. End of the project. Gutenberg eBook Oxford Poetry 1919 asterisk asterisk asterisk. Updated editions will replace the previous one, the old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works, by using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg. You agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e. Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, If a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work, you comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1 Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116, 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.